Hello, welcome to a brand new episode of InTouch. We've got an amazing show lined up for you right here, and Tori and I are going to be telling you all about the new things that we've got on the show.
We're so glad that you're here watching with us, and we have such a great lineup today. The importance of watching this show is that you can keep yourself updated as to all the new things that are happening in Kuwait in regards to legislation, the rules, and also the entertainment aspect.
Of course, Tori. Now, if people here are visiting Kuwait on short-term, long-term, or even if they're staying on permanent basis, if they're thinking of staying longer, this show is for them because, like you said, we're going to tell them all about the importance of the laws, the regulations. Sometimes they change, so they need to keep up, and this show is for them if you want to know all about these things and the entertainment aspect, of course.
Okay, we also have a health segment, so make sure you stay tuned so you can keep yourself healthy and know how to respond if anything happens.
Of course. Now, Tori, there's something very important about this show that I'm sure by now the viewers know about this, that this show is being presented in multiple languages, and that's what we're really proud of. So Tori and I are presenting the Western version, which is, we'll present it in English, obviously, but this show is being presented in Tagalog, in Urdu, and in Farsi for all multiple let's say, major communities here in Kuwait. So we're very proud of that. It's one of a kind type of show. It's unique, and we hope we do well.
Yes, I think the wonderful thing about this is that it's personalized to your needs. So by it being in different languages, you can always understand and feel like you're moving along with this.
Okay, so on this show today, we've got a lot of people lined up and a lot of reports, but we're going to start with a very distinguished American guest that basically has been living here in Kuwait. We'll tell you all about her right after we come back from the break.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Today we're going to start off with our interview segment. And one of the lovely things about our program is we cover such a wide variety of topics. And most importantly, we have such prestigious guests. For today's show, we have Liltera. She's known as an international writer, and we're so glad to have her here. Liltera, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, I'm actually born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida, so I'm from the States. Been here in Kuwait for about 5 weeks now. And I've been writing pretty much my whole life, so about 15 years, and I'm only 28. So,
wow.
So you're considered an international writer, let's say. And can we ask you what are the, I don't know if this is, there's a specific topic for you that you like writing about, or is a writer type of person like a poet? Sometimes they just write about whatever, they feel inside, or is it a specific thing, a genre that you follow?
It's really based on my emotions or whatever is going on in my life and during that period of time.
And what is it exactly that prompted you to start writing? Was there a significant happening in your life that said, okay, I'm going to begin to voice out my feelings by writing? What is it that prompted you?
Yeah, actually the death of my grandfather when I was 12. Just not really knowing how to release those negative emotions, and I just started writing and helping me cope, and basically became my therapy at that time. And then it grew into, something I didn't really expect it to be.
And that's a very good thing to turn something as tragic as that to something very positive. And I'm glad that we've got people visiting us in Kuwait that have that type of positive energy. But let's talk more about where have you gotten so far? What are you doing here in Kuwait? Any activities that other people are basically benefiting out of, perhaps like groups that you are basically running?
Well, like I said, I've only been here about 5 weeks, but things have pretty much been running smoothly and quickly. I had a book signing at Kuwait Books just this past weekend. Met a local author and poet, Najud, there, and she's been kind of helping me get more opportunities. I'm also freelancing for Bazaar magazine. And just really trying to promote and network everywhere that I go. I've been to almost every mall so far, so meeting some very interesting people.
Okay. And earlier, as we were talking, you mentioned how this is your first time, going abroad. So can you tell us of your experience? What is it like?
It's such a culture shock. I'm still learning how to kind of navigate and communicate with the language barrier here. But I found that, you know, when you meet the right people, it's much easier to make progress. So.
Liltera, you have published numerous books. Let us know about the process of publishing books. Now, I don't know if this is diminishing in a way because people are turning to publishing, you know, on social medias perhaps and other technical devices, let's say. But you have published an actual book, paper and ink, and tell us if that's getting any more difficult.
The way that the publishing industry is changing, you really have to continue to do your research and continue to evolve with it. Publishing a paperback book is a much more tedious process than ebook. Ebook is just a quick upload to either Amazon or even your website in PDF format. But from the writing process through to the editing with paperbacks, you have to make sure that the format is correct for the printing process, and that process can take anywhere from 6 months to 6 years. So it just depends on how quickly you can write and how much you know about the process.
Right. To me, this seems like a very time-consuming.
Definitely.
And how do you handle this? One would easily get frustrated and give up, but what is it that keeps you motivated? What keeps you moving on and determined to pursue your goals?
Just my passion for it. I love what I do, and I'm very, very excited every time that I start a new project. Anytime someone requests my assistance through my company, I'm just constantly motivated and passionate about what I do. So I'm always excited about new opportunities.
Liltera, any kind of stories that you've written here that you can tell people that are watching right now? Something that has to do with your situation, perhaps, your experience here. You know, what are the things that you've been writing ever since you got here?
Well, my latest book actually is titled Live Your Dream, How to Set and Accomplish Deadline-Driven Goals. And that book was published in April of this year, and it pretty much talks about the process of me quitting my full-time job in corporate America to pursue my dream full-time. And that's pretty much my motto. I have the Live Your Dream wristband, and it's my motto anytime I post on social media, just encouraging everyone to live your dream and pursue what you were born to do full-time. Even if it's, you know, difficult for you to do, you just have to find a way to do that.
We were talking, Tori and I, about what Liltera, before he came to the show, of what your main job is, and I told her that we don't know because we were focusing more, because when I spoke to you on the phone, you seemed more really enthusiastic about what you do, and it almost didn't encourage me to talk or focus on like what your job is, your 9-to-5 job is. But now that you talk about the motivation and following your dream, it makes a lot of sense that you know, quitting your actual job and pursuing your dreams, right?
Yes. And as he said, I was interested to know what your day job was, because what happens is people who pursue their dreams when it's to do with literature or the arts, they tend to shy away from it because it doesn't pay as much.
Exactly.
How would you respond to that if somebody, what would you say to somebody who wanted to pursue their dreams but was deterred because of that factor?
You have to focus more on the passion versus the profit. It's not all about the money. If you love what you do, the money will come eventually. As long as you're moving forward, that's making progress, and eventually you're going to be, you know, happy, you know, hopefully internally, and then monetarily you'll be happy in the end.
That's very true. I second that. I second sometimes it's a little frustrating because we do live all around the world. You live in the United States, and it's a, you know, a capitalistic type of community that wants you to, your success is your money making. Right. And it's like that all around the world, really, most places, let's say. And I want, like you said, I hope people kind of would like go towards their passion, because it might not actually pay you as much, like you said, but it will pay you so much in other terms.
Right, as far as being fulfilled and doing what you were born to do.
Well,
right.
Yeah. And that's the real payment, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now that you're in this platform of influence, you have people who read your books, people who look up to you. Is there a particular message that you'd like to send forth to these people, your followers, or whatever you might call them? Is there something you would like to say to them in particular?
Yes, definitely. Just live your dream, whatever it takes. Never give up, no matter how discouraging or difficult it may get, it's going to pay off in the end. I'm a living, testament to that.
Liltera, let's talk about other books. You've got so much, you've got other numerous books that you wrote. What is the one, I don't want to say your favorite because that's not a good question to ask someone who wrote it, but let's say, which one do you feel like was your good luck charm? The one that opened up everything up?
Definitely the first release, Amateur Thoughts. It's a collection of poetry and quotes. And it's basically from the age that I started writing up until I believe the age 22. And it's just a collection of my feelings and emotions and just kind of introducing myself, as a passionate writer, as someone who's wanting to be more courageous. And the more people that I started to attract from that, that's kind of how I built the confidence to continue. So that book definitely kind of put me out there and kind of forced me to be confident in what I'm doing.
When you write, is there a particular condition you like to put yourself in to write? For example, is it like your bedroom or is it in a coffee shop? Is there a particular setting that you prefer and allows you to release easier?
I like to be secluded, so definitely in the bedroom, comfortable. At night, I'm not a morning person, so I like to wake up at any time in the afternoon and stay up pretty late. So I just like to be comfortable and secluded, pretty much.
I do agree with you, Liltera. There's something about the night, and there's something about being creative at night. I feel the same way. But Liltera, let's talk about, we keep addressing you as an international writer. I hope you're having a good time here in Kuwait, but I want to know your future. You said international. What other cultures do you want to visit, and where do you want to be shocked again? Because I know the shock can actually sometimes make you motivated to write more. So where do you think another culture that you can go to that you can have that shock to write more books?
Well, I've been in Kuwait, but I actually visited Dubai and Abu Dhabi as well. But I definitely want to go to London. I've heard so much about how writers can prosper there. So that's one of my, hopefully in the near future. Maybe China? I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought because I'm still trying to get used to being here, but I think the possibilities are endless now. This was my first time getting out there. And like I said, the opportunities are now coming in, so I'm building my confidence and just really wanting to explore wherever the opportunities are.
Do you feel England is more of a place where people actually there's more fans of reading?
Well,
would you say that?
I'm not totally sure, but it seems that more authors do kind of catapult themselves in England a lot more, or anywhere outside of the States really. It's easier to get notoriety as an author.
I think it's very encouraging, all that you said, that you took a step out. As you said, this is your first time abroad, but all you need is that first step, to move on and do things. I mean, it's one thing to have a dream and it's one thing to fulfill it and do that and have that driving force to make the action, So I think it's very encouraging that you're actually living your dream.
Liltera, does your writing style changes from one culture to the other? You grew up in Florida. Are people there different? I know in the States, there's a lot of different, there's a lot of different places that you can go. Even people are different. So even in the States, would you say, I grew up in California, would you say if you were living in California, you would write differently for people over there?
No, I stick to my style, my natural way of writing, and most people are attracted to just honesty. And when you're more personal and open, many people appreciate that. They don't like you to be, I guess, trying to impress them. They want you to just be
the mainstream.
Right, just be who you are, and people will love that.
And you said you stick to your style. Is there a particular form or structure that you usually adhere to when you come to writing, or do you just let it flow?
Well, it really depends if I'm writing poetry or if I'm trying to complete a book. The process is different for both. With poetry, it just comes out, whatever I'm feeling at the time. With writing a book, I definitely try to outline it first, and I try to draft just to see what I'm initially thinking to write about, and then I go back and try to, format it and make it how it should be and format it properly.
So there's a whole process. Well, I was just going to ask you about this actually. I mean, we're all from technology generation, and to me, sometimes I feel like writing. We said I had told Majoud before that sometimes I like to write if I can imagine it's going to be turned into a song, not necessarily turned into a song, but like I'd like to write sometimes, but for some reason, I don't even have any paper and pen around me anymore. It's only my laptop
Right.
and my phone, and I actually write with my phone or my laptop.
Right.
How do you do it? Does it make a difference holding a screen, an LED screen, and writing and getting passionate about what you write, as opposed to holding a paper and a pen? Does it make a difference?
It definitely does. When I first began writing, it was more notebooks, pen, paper. Now it's a laptop, phone, anything electronic that I can get my thoughts out much quicker with anything.
So you're
that
for it. You're for using technology
Right.
as well. Okay.
I'm for it, but I'm not totally against the traditional way either. I still kind of connect to that as well.
Okay. Would you say there is a relationship between your written voice and your spoken voice?
They're definitely two separate relationships. When I'm writing, it's more of a personal, intimate thing. But with speaking, I'm still trying to get more, I guess, comfortable with that. And I've transitioned into becoming a motivational speaker in addition to being a poet, so they kind of go hand in hand. But I'm definitely more comfortable with when I'm writing versus when I'm trying to speak and express. It's much easier to, to just write it out than speak it out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Liltera, you've been so helpful, and you have told us so much. I'm really excited to have you here. And,
Thank you.
And thanks for being here and sharing your stories and your books. We're really glad that you came to
Thank
our
you.
show.
I appreciate it.
I would just like to wish you good luck for your future endeavors, and thank you so much for taking time to be here. It really means a lot to us, and I hope people out there who are watching have learned so much from Liltera, because I know I have.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And now we'll go for a short break and we'll come back.